So at the Back Porch Antiques, we love things old. We really like antiques. We really like old cars. So tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to highlight some antiques, but in a different realm. Some antique cars, some classics here at, they call it, I believe, the Cruise In at Towne Square, sponsored by the Greeneville City Car Museum. So shout out to them for putting together a pretty good show. There's a little bit of some rainy conditions tonight, but still a good turnout. It looks like to be maybe 40, 50 cars, something like that. But it's a good show, and we're going to highlight some of those local cars that you might see buzzing around a little bit. So if you like that sort of thing, tune into our video and you can check out some of these cool old cars. So in the late 50s, early 60s, there was a drag racing style craze called a gasser. And it's an option where they did a weight transfer type suspension setup that would help the particular car hook a little bit better and leave harder, and thus the elapsed time in the drag racing would be a lot quicker. And this is an example of that car. This is a 62 Oldsmobile gasser. And it's a pretty cool car. It's been painted up with the retro paint scheme as it would have been. This particular car belongs to Roger Brank. It's got a 355 Chevrolet in it. It's a really cool setup car with a front, straight axle front end, and presents very well. It is a good example of an era style of car, which is that mid to late 50s, early 60s gasser style. So again, 62 Olds here in Greeneville tonight. So the hottest market right now in the collector car world is the muscle car realm. Probably in the past year and a half to 2 years, the retail value of some of these cars has raised probably 20%. On the top of that market is the Mopar, the Chrysler product. This is a good example of that. This is a 73 Cuda, and it's one of the more sought after muscle cars of the era. Of course, if you get up to the Hemi level, which would be the 426 Hemi in these cars, you're looking at $250,000 or more, maybe even on up toward $1 million, depending on the car. So again, these Mopars are the ones to look after, and this is a fine example right here, located in Greeneville. So some of these cool old cars have bought license plates from the Back Porch Antiques. This pretty cool old Ford right here bought his license plate straight from the famous license plate place, Back Porch Antiques in Greeneville, Tennessee. So this old Chevrolet right here belongs to one of our good and faithful customers, Donnie. And as any true antiquer would do, he's brought out a good selection of antique license plates. Now, when I stepped out of the truck, I smelled these. I knew there were license plates somewhere for sale on the premises, so we snorted them out like an old coon dog. And sure enough, here they are, some good pieces. Want to highlight this plate right here for just a second. If you'll notice, it's got the Bewley name on it, and shout out to Mr. Bewley. He's who has made this particular process possible. So thankful for him and everything that he's done for the car culture here in Greeneville. So this old car belongs to the famous Al Pollack of Middle Creek, Tennessee, and it is an absolute beautiful example of a 60 model Cadillac. And there's a realm of collectorship that people love these sleds. They love these sorts of things that are low and large and beautiful, such as this one. This is a good example of this particular style of car. It is a staple here lately of Greene County, so shout out to Al and his beautiful old caddy. So one of the most iconic old cars that you'll ever see, which highlights the 1950s doo-wop type era that everybody was cruising around. In Greeneville, you'd have been cruising Ham's Drive-In, the Big Top, or the Blue Circle, or something along those lines. If you think about those days, you think about the 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. This is a wonderful example of that car. It's that iconic era of teal and white. These are just a wonderful example of the iconic hot rod from the 1950s. This is a car here from Greeneville. It's a good example, great stainless, just a beautiful car. So again, the 1957 Chevy Bel Air. So I hope you enjoyed our time together tonight at Cruise In at Towne Square, hosted by the Greeneville City Car Museum. And old cars are a huge part of our culture. And there's a lot of people in Greeneville and Greene County who enjoy participating in the hobby of antique and classic cars. At the Back Porch Antiques, we want to highlight that sort of thing. I hope you've enjoyed the cars that we've highlighted. If you like this sort of thing and you'd like to see more, drop that in the comments. Maybe we can reach out to some more of the car events around and highlight some of their owners and things like that. But yeah, if you get the chance, like and subscribe, and we'd appreciate it. See you later.